students. In this video, we are going to study about general properties of compounds of alkali metal. We'll see what type of compounds are formed by alkali metals. That means what type of oxides, hydroxides, halides and salts of oxoacids are formed by these compounds and what is their properties. So let's begin. Oxides and hydroxides of alkali metals. All the alkali metals and their oxides, peroxides and superoxides radially dissolved in water. They all are soluble in water and they produce corresponding hydroxides which are strong alkaline. Alkaline means those bases which are soluble in water. So oxides, peroxides and superoxides of alkali metal dissolve in water and they result in formation of alkaline hydroxides. That this is the representation of formation of hydroxides of sodium. Sodium dissolves in water to form sodium hydroxide. Sodium oxide also dissolved in water to form sodium hydroxide. Similarly, sodium peroxide also dissolved in water to form sodium hydroxide, and same is done by potassium oxide. So it is potassium superoxide in fact. So this is the way in which sodium hydroxide can be prepared. It can be prepared by direct reactions of alkali metal with water or by dissolution of oxides, peroxides and superoxides of alkali metals in water. Thus, peroxides and superoxides also act as oxidizing agent since they react with water forming hydrogen peroxide and water and oxygen respectively, as you can see from here. In case of peroxide, this was peroxide and this one is superoxide. Actually this is superoxide, this one is peroxide. So this is the reaction of superoxide. So these peroxides and superoxides also react with water to produce hydroxides and hydrogen peroxide. So they also act as oxidizing agents. The hydroxides of alkali metals are white crystalline solids. They are crystalline solids. They are strongest of all the bases and radially dissolved in water with evolution of heat. That means the hydroxides of alkali metals are strong. These are the strongest bases known. They are strongest bases, just like sodium hydroxide is a very strong base. So all the hydroxides of alkali metals are strong bases and they dissolve in water, and the dissolution process is exothermic. The basic strength of these hydroxides increases down the group. Next is solubility and stability of these hydroxides. All the hydroxides are highly soluble in water, as these are basic, and alkaline. Alkaline means bases which are soluble in water. So all the hydroxides are highly soluble in water and thermally stable, except lithium hydroxide, which is actually thermally unstable. When it is heated, it decomposes to give lithium oxide and water. So except this one, all other hydroxides are thermally stable. Formation of salts with acids. Alkali metal hydroxides, being strongly basic, they are base, so they will react with acid to form salt. This is neutralization reaction simply. So NaOH, sodium hydroxide, being a base, reacts with acid. This was base to produce salt and water. This is an obvious acid-base reaction. Similarly, NaOH also reacts with sulfuric acid to form salt and water. Next are halides of alkali metals. Alkali metals combine directly with halogens under appropriate conditions, forming halides of general formula MX. M is alkali metal, just like NaCl, LiCl. So they directly react with halogens to form halides of formula this. These halides can also be prepared by action of aqueous solution of acid on metal oxides, hydroxides or carbonates. So here is an example. Like this is when metal oxides are reacted with acids, they result in formation of these metal halides. Just say when I react Na2O with two molecules of HCl, it will result in formation of two NaCl with evolution of water. Similarly, if I react sodium hydroxide with HCl, this will also result in formation of NaCl, simple acid base reaction with water molecule. Similarly, if I react sodium carbonate Na2CO3 with two molecules of HCl, this will also result in formation of two molecules of NaCl, CO2 and water. So this is how metal halides can be found by action of acids, either direct reaction between alkali metal and halogens, or by the action of acids on oxides, hydroxides and carbonates of alkali metals. All these halides are colorless, they have high melting point, they are crystalline solids and they have negative enthalpy of formation. And the value of decreasing order of reactivity is basically like this. Fluorides are most reactive or most stable also, then followed by chloride, then bromide and then iodide. This is the order of stability. Thus fluorides are more stable, followed by chlorides, then bromides and then iodide. So NaF, so sodium fluoride would be more stable, followed by sodium chloride, followed by sodium bromide and then the least one is sodium iodide. This is the order of stability. Next is hydration energy or hydration enthalpy. Hydration energy is actually the amount of energy released when 1 mole of gaseous ion combines with water to form hydrated ion. What is hydration actually? Hydration is the process in which water molecules get attached to an ion which is dissolved in water. So, and the amount of energy released during this process is called hydration energy. Just like this, if we have this is a metal ion, when it reacts with water, it is dissolved in aqueous solution. It becomes aqueous. That means this is the metal ion which is surrounded by water molecules and which releases hydration energy. So hydration energy is the amount of energy released when hydration of an ion, cation or anion takes place in water. So this is the situation. Higher the hydration energy, more would be the solubility of ions. What happens when any compound is dissolved in water? The ions split up and each ion, anion and cation, undergo hydration separately, and greater the hydration, more would be the solubility. And smaller the size of ion, more would be this hydration. Hydration of a ion at the extent of hydration depends on the size. The ion which is smaller in size would be highly hydrated as compared to the one which is larger in size. Okay, so let's say there is a small cation. It is highly hydrated by water molecules, because of which actually a complex is formed, a sphere type structure is formed, in which in core there is cation or the small ion surrounded by water molecule. So greater the hydration, smaller would be the radius of this sphere and this radius is called a hydrated ionic radius. So smaller the size, more would be hydration, greater would be the radius of hydrated ion, and because of which smaller would be the ionic mobility. So smaller the ion, greater is the hydration, and because of which lesser would be the ionic mobility in water, which would affect definitely the conductivity. Now due to small size and high electronegativity, lithium halides except lithium fluoride are predominantly covalent. They are covalent because of small size of lithium because of the small size of lithium cation, it has greater polarizing power, and greater the polarizing power, more would be the covalency of compound. So lithium halides are generally covalent and hence are less soluble in water and more soluble in covalent solvent, just like alcohol, acetone, ethyl acetate, etc. Apart from that, lithium chloride is also soluble in pyridine. That means they are more soluble, they are soluble in organic solvents or non-polar solvents. In contrast, sodium chloride is totally ionic and it is insoluble in organic solvent, but it is soluble in water. Due to high hydration energy, we know the hydration energy depends on size. Lithium ion is of smallest size, so hydration would be highest in case of lithium as compared to the rest of the alkali metals. So due to high hydration energy of lithium positive ion, lithium halides are soluble in water except lithium fluoride, because lithium fluoride is covalent as we have discussed. So lithium halides are soluble in water except lithium chloride, lithium fluoride, which is springly soluble due to high lattice energy. Why? It is covalent, so its lattice energy is high and it does not undergo hydration so effectively because it is covalent in nature. For same alkali metals, the melting point decreases in this order. Fluorides have higher melting point because they are more stable, followed by chloride, followed by bromide, followed by iodide for the same alkali metal. That means if I talk about sodium fluoride, it would have more melting point than sodium chloride, and which is then sodium bromide. So this is the order of melting point and boiling point. For the same halide ion, the melting point of lithium halides are lower than those of corresponding sodium halides. That means if I talk about lithium chloride, then I talk about sodium chloride, then I talk about potassium chloride. So the melting point for the same halide, the melting point of lithium would be lower than those of sodium chloride. This is low in melting point and this one is high in melting point. But after sodium, the melting point decreases as we move down the group from sodium to cesium. Okay, so the general trend is that down the group melting point decreases, but that of lithium, because it is the first member, so if we follow this trend, the melting point of lithium must be smallest one. But actually what happens, that lithium has anomalous property and its melting point is very high. After that, from when we move from sodium to cesium down the group for the same alkali metal, the same halide, the melting points of halides decreases. The low melting point of lithium chloride as compared to sodium chloride is probably because lithium chloride is covalent and sodium chloride is ionic. Okay, the next is, since the alkali metals are highly electropositive, therefore their hydroxides are strong bases and hence they form salts with all the oxo acids. That means if, let's say example, sodium is reacted with H2CO3, it results in formation of Na2CO3 with evolution of water. And so this is an oxo acid and this is salt of oxo acids. They are generally soluble in water and stable toward heat. So salts of oxo acids of alkali metals are soluble in water and they are stable toward heat. The carbonates, as I have just discussed, is sodium carbonate. The carbonates of alkali metal are remarkably stable up to 1273 Kelvin, above which they first melt and then eventually decompose to form oxides. But lithium carbonate is an exception, as we have discussed earlier also. They are considerably less stable, they are not stable toward the heat and they decompose very easily. So this is exception one, that most of the carbonates of alkali metal, of rest of the alkali metal are stable, but for lithium carbonate it is unstable toward heat. Now why? This is due to the large size difference between lithium ion and carbonate ion, which makes crystal lattice unstable. Lithium ions are smaller in size while carbonate is larger in size, because of which the lattice becomes unstable and it decomposes easily on heating. Being strongly basic, alkali metals also form bicarbonates, solid bicarbonates. All the carbonates and bicarbonates are soluble in water, and their solubility increases rapidly down the group. But lithium does not form solid salts of oxo acid. It does not form solid carbonate. It does not form solid hydrogen carbonate. This is due to the reason that lattice energy decreases more rapidly than hydration energies on moving down the group. Actually, there are two energies, lattice energy and hydration energy. As we move down the group, the size of cation increases, because of which the lattice energy decreases. Down the group, lattice energy decreases. Similarly, at the same time, hydration energy is the amount of energy released due to hydration of metal ions, and smaller the size, more would be hydration. Down the group, size increases. That means hydration energy also decreases. But lattice energy is the amount of energy required, while hydration energy is the amount of energy released. So a compound is soluble in water when the lattice energy, which is required to break the lattice so that it would dissolve, is satisfied or fulfilled by the amount of heat or energy released when that ion undergoes hydration. That means when ion undergo dissolution, some amount of energy is released in the form of hydration energy, and that must be equal to or greater than the lattice energy. In that case only the compound would be soluble. When we move down the group, lattice energy decreases. That means amount of energy required to break lattice decreases. On the other hand, the amount of energy released also decreases. But what happens, that lattice energy, that means demand of the energy, decreases more rapidly as compared to the supply of energy, that is hydration energy. So it would be soluble down the group. Both are decreasing, but requirement is decreasing more rapidly as compared to the supply of heat, of energy. That's why these are soluble. Now there is a problem that the correct order of solubility of carbonates of alkali metals is, we know that the solubility of carbonates of alkali metal, we just discussed this in previous slide, that it decreases, the solubility increases down the group, because both lattice energy and hydration energy decreases down the group, but lattice energy decreases more rapidly than hydration energy. So the correct order would be this: potassium is more stable than soluble than sodium and then lithium. All the carbonates and bicarbonates are soluble in water, and their solubility increases rapidly down the group, because yes, the same answer, lattice energy decreases more rapidly than hydration energy down the group. Now the ionic mobility of alkali metal ion in aqueous solution is maximum for, obviously, when ion is dissolved in water, it undergoes hydration. Smaller the ion, more would be hydration, and because of which less would be the mobility. The one which undergo hydration to the greater extent moves slowly. So in case of lithium, it is the smallest in size, so hydration would be highest, because of which its mobility would be least. So the correct option is A here. So students, now we are aware of oxide, hydroxides, halides and salts of oxoacids of alkali metals and their properties and their tendency to react. In next video, we'll move to some compounds of sodium. Keep watching.